Hey guys, Haikrazon here with another Platinum Trophy overview, and ooh buddy, this was a good one. We're talking about Metal Hellsinger today, and I had a killer time with this one, but $40 for a 5 to 10 hour Platinum is pretty steep, so let's get into it. Don't forget to subscribe if you dig the content so you don't miss any of my other trophy hunting videos. I've been waiting on this one for a while. I'm a huge metalhead and I love edgy and satanic stuff, so obviously my tacky ass needed this, right? The premise alone is already awesome. I love seeing rhythm aspects injected into major genres. Once I saw the impressive list of vocalists on these tracks, yeah, it was a no-brainer for me. And I know BPM is a similar game and probably a lot harder, but without some of my favorite metal musicians, so it's not like this is the first time this has been done. But it's the first time it's been done with this much quality, not talking crap on BPM though. Getting into the actual game and trophy overview, Metal Hellsinger is a fast-paced first-person shooter that revolves around doing everything in time with the music, right? From shooting and reloading, to dodging and executing, but all to decently brutal metal. Very Doom-inspired, of course, not near as djinty though, which is okay for me. I like that, but I also like more defined riffs. Again, not talking shit. While the big emphasis here is on all the metal vocalists they got for the game, I actually really loved the tracks themselves. They're by a duo of composers called Two Feathers. I did a little bit of research on them. Looks like they specialize in doing music and sound for games in general. Super chuggy and solid riffage all around. I really enjoyed that. But the vocalists are no joke either. I mean, just to name a few of my favorites, Matt Heffy from Trivium, Randy Bly from Lamb of God, Tatiana from Ginger, and so many more. But those were definitely some of my top picks. Also, musicians, don't get too excited. Every track is in 4/4, which is fine by me and makes it more accessible, but adding the challenge of weird time signatures definitely would have been a neat idea. Alright, on to the trophies, because I could talk about metal music for days on end, so mostly just beat the game and the challenge rooms. Yeah, there are a fair amount of miscellaneous trophies, but you're very likely to grab them naturally through playing. I mean, it's stuff like killing 50 behemoths or getting a total of 666 kills. There's no way you're not going to get these while beating the game. There are some you're going to need to try for and pay attention on, like, typical chain-size trophies, getting 25 kills while maintaining your streak, something like that. After beating the game, all I had left were the trophies to clear a level using only Paz. That's the skull, but he's meant for combo maintaining, not really damage. He's a lot weaker, so it does slow down the level, but that's the challenge. Killing a boss with just the sword and clearing a level without missing a beat, which is the hard trophy of the game, but we'll get into that later. Talking about the time factor and how it actually felt getting the platinum for this game. So it's a little weird. It's only about a 5 to 10 hour platinum, like I mentioned before. And $40 for that's a little on the rough side, but god damn, the amount of fun I had with this was easily worth it. That being said, the idea clearly targets a very specific audience, right? Which I think is the audience that's okay with spending that kind of money for the actual experience. Like me, I loved it. And of course, a huge portion of their budget went into the score of the game, which definitely worked for me, but I really hope this does well enough for a sequel with a much larger budget, so that way we can have more weapons, more mechanics, and an overall longer experience. Literally though, the entire time I played this was absolutely fucking killer, even when struggling for Not Shaken Nor Stirred, which is the not missing a beat trophy. The game felt great, the music is top, and the variation in weapons is awesome. Definitely too quick, but still easily worth it for me personally. Moving on to some of the things that stuck out. The actual gameplay. Like I mentioned earlier, we know the budget focus was on music, so I didn't anticipate the gameplay to feel so tight and so smooth. And plus, the voice acting had absolutely no reason to be as good as it was, but they also paid for Troy Baker, so duh, it obviously makes sense why. But with the focus of this game, it wasn't necessary, but they still really nailed it. One complaint I did have, the bosses are all the same-ish, for the most part. Yeah, the boss fights have different firing patterns and arenas, and they were super fun, I did like them, but they're all aspects of hell. They're the same enemy, but with a different theme from the level, and the same combat flow, too, except maybe the first one, and then obviously the last boss is different as well. But you chunk away a third of its life, it disappears for waves of trash, rinse and repeat. That's literally it for every boss except the first one and the last boss. It was just kind of weird to me. So the hard trophy for the game, Not Shaken Nor Stirred, the wording on the trophy says to, quote, never hit offbeat in a hell, end quote. I can't for sure confirm this, but doing some reading, most people say that dashing and reloading off time counts against you, but not jumping though. I did have several runs where I'm pretty damn confident I didn't miss any shots and I still didn't get the trophy, but I was dashing all about just to speed up the travel between combat zones, and I still wasn't getting it. So there's so much going on, it's hard to tell, but I think they may be right, and when I did eventually get it, I was just lazily walking through the arenas. It was a little lengthier, but that's what I was doing when I ended up getting it. That being said, most guides are going to recommend that you use the shotgun to make yourself go slower since it's pump action, but I personally had an easier time with the hounds since you can fire on every beat, and being more consistent as a musician makes more sense to me. Everybody's going to be different, of course, but that and the Vulcan worked really well for me. Also, one, it's just really fucking good, and two, it has a really satisfying pattern of fire, offbeat for reload, then perfect reload, rinse, repeat. And I don't know why, but that worked really well for my fingers and my brain. Again, on top of just being strong and AoE. So that's actually what I used for the majority of most of my runs, for all my chains and the no offbeat trophy, all that fun stuff. But obviously, use whatever weapon you're most comfortable with for the trophy, because it is a bitch and there is so much going on, and you're definitely going to need to dedicate some time to it and try several times, or if you don't, I'll give you $5. But it's a rough trophy. Wrapping up here, overall, I had an incredible time getting this platinum. Easily the most fun I've had in a long time, especially while not really having to do anything too crazy for the completion. Yeah, the gameplay is awesome, but the music is really what did it for me, of course. And I mean, getting to do this shit to this kind of music, dude, that's hard to beat, man. It was so awesome. Again, comparing price to the length of platinum is a bit on the rough side, but still easily worth it, and I want these devs to get as much support as possible. So if you were thinking about going for the platinum for Metal Hellsinger, hopefully this gave you a good idea of what to expect. Let me know what your guys' favorite trophy was down in the comments. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell to catch more of my trophy hunting content. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you on the next one.